Welcome back, folks. Today, in this video, what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about facts. It's only going to be about facts. So going into this season, the intention of the Mets' success was supposed to be World Series or bust. We spent a historic amount of money on our payroll, $360 plus million to win a World Series. That was the goal. Don't let anybody change that. They will, and it seems like, I see it on Twitter, I see it even from the New York Mets organization, they are drastically moving the bar. And that is not acceptable. If they want to wave the white flag and start to retool, I will support you. But don't tell me right now you're a good team, because you are a horrific team. Okay, they won 2 nights ago, 11-1 against the Astros, and it seems like it just was an aberration. And like I said, folks, in this video, we are going to talk about facts and only facts. But first, if you could do me a huge favor and like the video, it would do us a tremendous favor, especially if you're a diehard Met fan. Please like, please subscribe, please. It helps out the channel immensely. All right, so the fact of the matter is right now, the Mets sit 13 games behind the Atlanta Braves. They sit 13 games back. So what does that mean? The Mets are 34-39. They have played 73 games. And also, just to interrupt that, at the end of the video, I have the AllStar voting results. So if anybody wants to know how the AllStar voting is going, I will tell you. All right, so get back to that. So the Mets are 34-39. They played 73 games. They sit 13 games behind Atlanta. Atlanta is 47-26. They've played 73 games. Okay, we have 162 games in the season. That means we have 91 games left. Let's just say Atlanta goes 46-45, so basically 500. Right now they're playing about 640 ball, but let's just say things don't go right and they play one game over 500. That means Atlanta's record would finish off the season at 93-71. 93-71. That's just if they go 500 ball. Okay, so you're probably thinking, how could we beat them? So for us to get to 94 wins, we would have to go 60-31. Basically, we would have to play 30 games over 500 to get to one game ahead of Atlanta. And that's only if Atlanta plays 500 ball. Okay? So that is just to show you how right now things aren't feasible. And you got to figure, to get to the wild card, we're going to have to win like around 90 games. We might be able to sneak in there at 88, 87, especially with the expanded wild card. But that means we're going to have to play tremendously better. And we're going to have to rely on guys who are playing bad and that are only getting worse. So, like I said, we're going to look only facts this video. Okay, so since April 22nd, right? So Justin Verlander, he came back a week after that. We've had pretty much a full team. We've missed Pete Alonso for like two weeks. Nothing crazy. So we've had our full roster. No big excuses, right? So we are 20-31 since April 22nd. That is the third worst record in the major leagues. Only the Royals and only the A's are worse. The A's are 15-39 in that time, and the Royals are 16-37. The A's have a 278 win percentage, the Royals have a 302, and we have a 342. Oh, I'm sorry, a 392. But guess what, folks? The A's have a $60 million payroll, the Royals have a $92 million payroll, and the Mets have a $360 million payroll. Okay? So that is a huge difference. And that is a huge disparity right there. We should be in a totally different direction. All right? Another fact. We are 13 games out now. It's June 21st. We haven't been 13 games out this far back at this point in the season since 2003. 20 years ago. So we haven't been this bad in 20 years. Not only do we have a historically high payroll, we are playing historically bad. So this is another fact. Okay, let's move on. Fact. We all know this. We have a starting rotation, an aging rotation in Verlander, in Scherzer, in Cookie, in McGill, in Carrasco. These are all aging veterans, and at this point in their career, they cannot be trusted at all. At all. And let's not continue to lower the bar, because I have been seeing that. I watched yesterday's game in which the Mets lost 4-2 to the Astros, and everybody's lowering the bar. They're like, oh, Verlander pitched a good game. We played well against the defending champions. No, that's not acceptable. We have the highest payroll in the league. The Astros were playing like garbage. We just beat them 11-1. Stop lowering the bar. If you want to lower the bar, like I said, wave the white flag and start saying we're going to retool. Other than that, I'm going to still have expectation that we're going to still try to win the World Series. Okay. All right. So last night, Gary Cohen said Justin Verlander gave the Mets exactly what they needed. He gave the Mets exactly what they needed. Okay, what did Justin Verlander do? He pitched 7 innings. He gave up 8 hits. 4 runs and 5 Ks. I don't think giving up 4 runs is giving the Mets exactly what they needed. If he gave up 0 or 1 runs, maybe. But 4 runs, no. And he gave up runs in the beginning of the game. I think I forgot, was the second or third inning? We were right behind the 8 ball. No, he did not do a great job. This is not a Cy Young Award winning performance. Stop lowering the bar. Okay, again. A Mets tweet in the 8th inning, and this I don't understand this. This is coming from the Mets Twitter. I really don't. Okay, so in the 8th inning, we were trying to mount a bit of a comeback. Eduardo Escobar, he hits a ball to the right of the center fielder. It drops in there, and it made this game 4-2. So a tweet went out from the New York Mets. Proud of you, Esky. Proud of you, Esky. What the heck did he do? He didn't win the game. He didn't tie the game. He had essentially a bloop hit. Maybe it was a little more than a bloop hit to the right of the center fielder. Nothing spectacular. It wasn't a home run. It wasn't a tying up hit. It wasn't a go-ahead hit. It wasn't a game-winning hit. It was just a regular hit. This is what we're proud of a professional guy who's making $10+ million. This is what we're proud of him for doing? This is ridiculous. No wonder why we're not starting Beatty every game. We're proud of a guy who gets in there and just gets a bloop hit. That means nothing. Okay. So, why I think my goal is to win a World Series. Maybe other people want to win the playoffs. Get in the playoffs and make a good, valiant effort. No, that is not what this season was all about. After winning 101 games last year, after signing Verlander, after getting Max Scherzer here, after paying 2 pitchers 43 some odd million, after signing Lindor to a 10-year contract, making $34 million, getting Robertson here, bringing Diaz back, bringing Nimmo back for a $160 million contract, bringing Raley here, signing Ottavino at age 38. No, we put all our eggs in this basket. Signing Marte to a 4-year contract, bringing Connor here for a 3-year contract. We were supposed to win a World Series. Maybe not last year, but definitely we were supposed to get better this year. And this is unacceptable. Our pitching staff is old and inconsistent. Verlander's 40, Scherzer's 38. In the bullpen we got Robertson, who's 38, Carrasco's 36, Raley's 34 in the bullpen, Ottavino's 37. We have so much age in our pitching. It's unbelievable. In our outfield position, which we need speed, and I know we got a couple of speedsters. They are old, but still, they're old. They could have injuries at any time, and we've seen it. Marte's 34. He was injured last year when we needed him in the playoff. Connor's 34. He's hit or miss. Pham is 35. He's having a good stretch right now, but I can't rely on a 35-year-old outfielder, and it seems that's what we're doing. This team is constructed poorly. We are relying on guys who are unreliable. Okay, maybe if they were 5 or 10 years younger, that's another story. But you can't spend so much money and rely on these guys. and then you put all your money in a basket of guys who are 40 years old, it is unacceptable. We have to desperately need a reset. I've read the standings. I've read that we have to have a ridiculous run, and the goal is to win a World Series. We're not going to do. I don't think we're going to do the first one and win the World Series. To get to the playoffs, we're going to have to do some type of magic, and that's going to be tough. I say be smart right now. Do not rebuild. Retool. You have to do this smart. I don't know if Epler is capable of doing this. I don't. I really don't. What has Epler proven to me? Was it the trade last year? Was it trading away J.D. Davis to the San Francisco Giants? Was it that magic trading him away with Thomas Sapucki in a couple trades for Darren Ruff, one of the worst trades I've ever seen in my life? Is that what's proving to me that he could do the job? No, I don't think so. You know, I just don't get it. I don't know what Billy Epler has proven. Anybody, if you can think of a trade that Billy Epler has proven himself so that he can carry the reins forward, please notate in the comment, because I can't think of one trade. I can think of moves that were terrible. There's any of these signings, they're not working out. No signings are working out right now. All right? I mean, he would have signed DeGrom. If DeGrom would have took $120 million in 3 years, DeGrom would be here. He'd probably be out with Tommy John. Okay? And we wouldn't even have Verlander giving us a serviceable contract. Okay. All right. So I'm saying that we should blow it up. I want your opinions. What do you think we should do? Should we blow it up? Drop a comment. Also, please drop a like and subscribe, because there's going to be a lot of interesting things to come. This is going to be the most interesting month coming forward. Coming up until the trade deadline, this is going to be the most interesting month. Now, I promised to get you some All-Star results, right? Who on the Mets is going to make the All-Star team? Who deserves it? All right. So our leading All-Star vote getter, and how it works now is all the top 2 guys at each position, they advance, and then they advance to be a starter. So it's the top 2 guys. So as long as you're in the top 2, you would advance. So right now we have one guy in the top 2 of their position. Lindor is number 2, and I think he's behind 55 votes. 50, I'm not sure if it's 5,000 or 55,000 votes behind Arcia. So both those 2 guys could advance to be a starter as long as you're in the top 2. Now, Alonso, right now, he is currently in the top 3. So it doesn't mean he wouldn't make the All-Star game. It just means he's not in contention for a starter position. The 2 guys who are ahead of him right now are Matt Olson and in first place, Freddie Freeman. So those 2 guys would advance, the top 2 in their position, to be a starter for the All-Star game. Okay, now moving forward, further than that, we have Francisco Alvarez for the catcher position. Right now, he currently sits in 4th place. So right now, he's out of contention to be a starter for the All-Star game. And then we got a couple guys who aren't that really close. We have McNeil, who is in 7th place, Beatty, who's in 7th place, and then Nimmo, who should be a lot higher, but he's all the way down in 16th place. All right, but you know what, folks, this is just for, that's not really the big focus. I mean, it would be nice to have a couple guys be in the All-Star game, but our focus, or my focus specifically, and I'm pretty sure it's your focus, we want to win a damn World Series. I mean, we've never spent this money in decades. We've never had an owner like this in our history. Forget about it. We never had any. I was thinking about the salary adjusted in the 60s. I'm sure we've never paid players like this at any point, regardless of what the contracts were back then. This is the first time we're really spending a lot of money. I know we spent a lot of money in 2006, but we were never this high. We were never number 1 by far in front of the Yankees, in front of the Red Sox, in front of all those other high paying ball club teams. I mean, it is ridiculous right now. That's why expectations are so high, and that's why the Mets have fallen so fast. Okay, we've gotten to the end of the video. We are going to track every single move, every single story with the Mets. Please stay tuned, like, and subscribe. We have everything coming here. Thank you so much, and have yourself a great day. And you know what? Let's go Mets. And And I'm going to end this. It can't get any worse, but it probably will.